Hi everyone, welcome to Living With Me. If this is your first time, and welcome back. Today I want to talk about a few things. It's fall, it's beautiful out there, my favorite season, and it inspired me to share some thoughts. Very related to my debt payoff. At one point, you have to admit that you can't live like everyone else, right? And that doing what everyone else is doing is just not cutting it anymore. For the longest time, I personally thought that waking up to go to work, coming back, spending your money, living in the moment because life is short, and then repeating all of it was the way of living. And that kept me broke, tired, exhausted, and really kind of unhappy. And I feel like most of people live like that, live that way. I'm tired of pretending, and I'm really good at pretending. So because I'm so good at pretending, I don't want to do that anymore. I have to face my demons and say enough is enough. I realized that the reason I was stuck is because I lived a certain way. It wasn't because I didn't make enough money. It was just simply because I tried to keep up with my community, with everyone else, right? And I feel like everyone else is doing the same thing, pretending. We're surrounded by this idea that we normalized. That means going out every day, or at least weekends, spending tons of money. Even if you can't keep up, and even if it hurts your wallet, it's just normal. It's normalized, right? And I realized everyone's broke. And if I'm mistaken and not everyone is broke, then I'm thinking that it's really hard for me to unsee how much people are pretending. It's hard for me to unsee that everyone lives like I was living. And that leads me to believe that everyone is pretending, that not everyone is well off, really. Shedding all those habits in these past few months that I started budgeting did cost me some relationships, some bad habits, and some old ways that, I was used to. And the reason I'm saying all of this is because now that fall is here, my favorite season, I realize it's all about letting go. And as cliche as it sounds, leave, shed, to be able to regrow new life. I'm doing the same. And I hope to inspire you with this video and all the videos that I'm making on debt payoff to let go of things that are not really right. They just feel familiar, yes, but it doesn't mean they're right. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but the amount of things that I've learned in only these past 2-3 months of budgeting and shedding off old habits when it comes to money, because that's my main source of unhappiness, have taught me so much that I am disgusted by the way I was living. And I don't want to do that anymore. And you know what was funny? I was thinking recently, when I was in college and was broke as broke can be, and like all of my friends were, I feel like there was so much more life in us. There was so much more appreciation for one another and time well spent. This particular story I thought of, one night, it was winter, my friend came over and knocked on my window. I was living in the lower ground and lower levels, and he knocked on my window and said, "Come down." And I brought us 2 mugs of hot tea and 2 seat cushions, and we cleaned the bench in front of my building, which was full of snow. I felt like that night the snow was still here. We just cleaned it off the bench and sat, and we had conversation after conversation with our hot teas, sitting on the bench until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And there wasn't one instance. I had so many of these moments, and we had no money. I feel like nowadays, when my friends text me and say, "Hey, we should catch up," I feel like all I see is money signs in front of my eyes, because it involves some kind of spending, some kind of activity that involves spending. I don't have any friends that are ready to come over and just say, "Hey, let's sit in your park and do something." That's problematic for me. Just because we're older doesn't mean we shouldn't be doing those things. And that's concerning me. And I ever since I started budgeting and cleaning up my financial life, I realized that I said no to a lot of friends, because buying things to fit in, even spending money on dinners that I can't afford right now. I realized I said a lot of no's, and I don't want to be losing friends, but why are my friends not ready to do something that doesn't involve spending money? I am ready. I am. I'm just sick of everyone playing that I'm well off game. I don't want to be part of it anymore, even if it means losing friends. I'm thinking that someone else looking at me before was maybe getting the impression that I'm well off because I live that fake life, and everyone else is, I feel like nowadays. I look at people now and think, are you just pretending, or do you really have that money and your financial life in order? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that financial life is the only thing that will bring you happiness. No, but in order to live your authentic life, whatever that means, You have to live below your means, and you have to live the way you can. And finances are just a part of that. Spending more than we have is pretending. I just don't want to be included because I'm buying my way into something. That's all I'm saying. Use this fall, use this winter to work on yourself. I don't want to preach. I don't want to sound like I'm giving you fluff, but while everyone else is right now busy looking like they're okay, if you try to change and work on it, you will actually be okay, and they'll just keep pretending. The reason I'm saying all of this is because, and I'm sorry if this is all around the place, but we live in a very concerning time in our culture, I feel, and that's one domain of our lives, finances, where we shouldn't be pretending. We should really try to at least keep that authentic and keep our families on one pile, happy and healthy, and shedding our old selves and our old ways is not always the worst. I thought that losing my authentic way is the death of me, but no. I want to prosper. I want to do what I can to better my life and the life of my family. And I'm going to end here. I just want to inspire you and see if you are doing well, and see if you are feeling the need to shed your old ways and implement new ways that are probably better for you. Thanks for being here with me. If this message resonates with you in any way, let me know in the comments below, please. I'd love to hear what changes you're making, if any, to better yourself or to just add to your life. Add something good this season. If you do it now, I promise you next spring is going to feel much, much better and way different. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!